doing? All right? Angela, you're through with Diddy? So am I. Okay? But I want to put an end to this, and I want to do it in the right way. So, folks, listen to me because I have an awful lot to say. As you all know, I'm going to be 81 years old pretty soon. I've been around, I've seen a lot, and met a lot of people throughout the world. And for all that there, I'm very grateful. And, I came on to social media like a lot of other people have. I began with Facebook when it was the only thing that was there. You began with your friends and your family, okay? And it just spiraled from there that we have all these other social media platforms. And I'm on all of them. And now I'm thinking because I spend a lot of time here on YouTube. I don't get paid for it. Now at my age, I still hustle for $1. I had that right, don't I? I got out of prison with $150. Yeah, that's all I got out of prison with. But I'm listening to other YouTubers, and I'm so disgusted on the intense hate that they have for Diddy. I don't like Diddy. I don't like what he did. So don't get me wrong. But, I listened to, and let me tell you, there was a gentleman, I forget his name, but he had Diddy's best friend on there. And I listened to his best friend, and thank God Diddy has some people that are close to him, still love him, and believe him. Okay? Thank God for that. The only thing that I found wrong with what he said he didn't know these things that were Diddy was doing. He didn't know that Diddy was an accident. Now he's been a friend of Diddy's since childhood. Okay, and how are you friends with somebody since childhood and you don't know that he's an addict? How could all that? How could you not see that? Okay, friends. They've since their childhood. So you're talking they've been friends for over 50 years. All right? I'm going to answer all your questions, folks. Give me an opportunity, please. Let me stay on what I want to say to you today. There is, I don't make money on YouTube, folks. Okay? I make maybe $150 a month. Okay? That I get paid from YouTube. All right? I'm trying to build my channel. I'm trying to give great content. I only come out here, I tell you the truth. I tell you exactly how I feel, okay? And what my thoughts are. You could disagree with me. You could agree with me, okay? And I appreciate that there, okay? All right? But, the folk, I watch these people come out and lie, lie, lie. There's three particular ones, okay? One comes out, his headlines is devastating, it's bad news. He doesn't have one positive thing to say to anybody, okay? Not one. Yeah, he's over in England. You know who I'm talking about, okay? All right? I leave messages for him sometimes, all right? I know he deletes them right away, okay? And then you got this gal that acts like she doesn't even know Diddy, but she hates him to death. Keisha, thank you for that thanks button. Okay? I appreciate that, honey. All right? And for those of you who don't have and can't find the thanks button, Okay, if you want to send me money, you could, my PayPal is right there in my profile. You can send it to my PayPal. Okay, and that's the only account. I don't have Cash App or Venmo no more. I got one account because I'm trying to narrow down on a lot of things in my life. And social media is my priority. Okay, now I have to make a decision whether to stay here on YouTube and keep trying to make money, all right, or go to TikTok where I got over 80,000 subscribers and spend my time there. Because I know when you spend time, all right, doing live shows on TikTok, you can make money there, all right. I don't know how YouTube figures things out. I keep getting more subscribers every day and I make less money. I don't know why. All right, it weren't for people like Keisha and those there who hit those thanks buttons, okay, I'd make nothing over here. But, let's not get that and don't worry about me, okay? Because I'm going to survive because I survived all my life, all right? But I don't want to wake up and watch. I used to love YouTube, but now everything's negative, negative, negative. It's like putting on my TV, which my TV is off right now, okay? Because I don't want to hear nothing negative. I don't have, I don't know how much time I have on this earth, but you know how my thinking is, and I'll be honest with you, okay? I've prepared for when I do leave this earth. I just made my last payment at Westwood Memorial, okay, where I will be. My ashes will be spread over there, okay. Uh, and now I'll have my cremation all paid for. Everything will be done by the time I die, okay. So I'm not afraid of dying, especially in this world today. But Diddy, like I said, I don't like Diddy for what he did. But on the other hand, this guy is deserves a second chance. He claims he's trying to do good things. He's giving classes in prison. He's taking, addiction classes, and they say he's trying. Okay, and which when in prison, people do that. Okay, because uh, I support everybody, Doc. Okay, I support everybody. If it don't hurt me, I'm not gonna hurt you. Okay, so folks. All right, everybody keeps asking me how old. I said it a million times. I'm going to be 81 years old. Okay, all right, and folks, leave comments. I want to know what your thoughts are because I was in prison. I was a bad boy. I was a gangster, a real gangster. Not like these rats that you see on YouTube, which I can't watch them, okay? Because I know they're lying. But everybody's built big YouTube channels by lying. And I come out here and tell you the truth. And I can't seem to build it, okay? So maybe it's me. Look, I don't know anything about technology, okay? And thank God for my son Anthony, because without him, I wouldn't even be here, folks. Without him. All right? You know another thing my son taught me? When I got out of prison, he taught me how to be grateful. Because I wasn't grateful, all right? I expected people that I did favors come to me with envelopes full of cash, okay? They didn't come. People that I did favors for. People that because of me are still breathing on this earth. and they didn't come to me. Okay? So, I heard this one say, oh, uh, Justin Bieber, Usher, Mariah Carey, Clyde Davis, they're not supporting Diddy. Well, that's how it is, folks. But he does have some people supporting him. And he is entitled to a second chance. I got a second chance. I took it. Okay? I took full responsibility for everything that I have done in my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And trust me, there was bad and there was ugly that I will never, ever talk about. Okay? Because I'm not a rat. Yeah, Big Chill, the answer to your question is yes. Okay? Alright? So, and folks, look, I wish everybody the best. I want everybody to do well. Okay? I want everybody to be happy. But it's like we live in a world that's impossible. Okay? It's impossible to be happy because everybody's so negative. And then the news you get is negative. And if you're on YouTube and watching these other channels, you're getting negative shit. Okay? Alright? You know, I keep trying, folks. And I'll try until the day I die. Alright? I will not stop. But let's go back to Diddy here again. And like I said, and I'll say it again, and I'm the first one. I called him Punk Diddy because I don't like any man that beats woman. Okay? That's totally wrong. Alright? And men should not do that. Okay? Alright? Women are to be cherished. Alright? Loved and taken care of. That's the old school way. That's the respectful way. But our youth today, they don't even know what the word respect means. No, as far as Diddy, Diddy has apologized, but he has not taken full responsibility for his actions yet. Will he? I think maybe he will. Okay? His legal team right now is advising him against that. But then again, I think he had the worst legal team in history. With a guy with his kind of money, he had the worst. Everybody wants to, oh, how great they got the RICO Act dismissed. That RICO Act was horrible. Okay? All right? It's terrible. Maureen Comey won that indictment for Diddy. By the way she wrote that indictment, and I know about indictments, folks, okay? Should see my indictment, okay? Make your toes curl, all right? That was a real RICO indictment. Diddy's wasn't, but she had other charges that she had him dead to right to, okay? Standalone charges that would have gave him 20 years or more in prison. And she didn't do that. So was the fix in from the beginning? I think it was. Okay? Yes, I've been to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Great town. Okay, great place. I gotta get back there before I leave this planet. Okay. I think you got Mardi Gras coming. No, February is Mardi Gras. I think. Okay. All right. I made a lot of money with the Jews. Okay. A lot of money. I made more money with Jewish people than I did with my Italian friends. Okay? I want you to know that. All right? What do I think of BB Netanyahu? I don't trust him. Okay? I'll tell you that too. All right? But, getting back to this negative crap. So I'm thinking, folks, that if you see me leaving YouTube, then I will be on TikTok. Because I do shows there once in a while. But, I got to go where the money is and where the respect is and where I get a lot of love and respect from my followers that I have here on YouTube. And I want to thank you all because without you, I wouldn't be here. Okay? And by the way, if anybody here has not subscribed yet, please do. They say it helps me. I don't know how it helps. Okay? I don't get many likes on my videos. Okay? Now, people have been asking me about. Yesterday, I did a live show with Lou Ziskin, who I met in Lampo while we were in prison. All right? One of the greatest stories you ever want to hear about the biggest bust in ecstasy, how he beat his case, one case, how he beat it. He had two federal indictments and facing life in prison, and he ended up doing 13 years. Well, not knowing tech, okay, I had my phone upside down, and it just didn't go well on the live show. So my son took that down. But we had the video that we're going to be posted. So please go, all right, to and Lou just is texting me right now, okay, on something. But where was I? Remind me, okay? Uh, Teresa Sticks. Uh, yeah, something that Lou had that, all right? Uh, but anyways, so as I was saying, okay, as bad as Diddy was, he's in prison. No matter how much time he got, he's still in prison, okay? All right, how long he'll remain at NBC, I don't know, okay? And there's another thing that I hear people saying that the government's going to take all his assets and people are counting his money. I don't count nobody's money. I don't count yours. Don't count mine. And don't count anybody. What they got is theirs. All right? The government's not after his homes. They're not after his plane or his boat. And I don't believe they could take it. They could have if he got indicted on RICO. I mean, got convicted on RICO, which he did not. He won that. Okay? Thank you, Gwizzy. Yeah, I'm not retired, folks. I'm not one of those people that ended up, forget about what they say about the golden ages. Okay? There's nothing gold about it. Nothing. All right? Getting old is not for the weak. Okay? Getting old is for the strong. You know, I made a lot of money in life. Every day I woke up, I made money. Okay? Because that's the only thing on my mind. And today, that's still the only thing on my mind. Now, I could live here, all right, and not have to worry about ever making any money. But then again, I can't go out. I can't go to a restaurant. I can't spend that extra money, okay, like I did in the old days. I can't do that. So I resign myself to the fact. It is what it is, okay? Was it worth it chasing money? When I was chasing it and making it, it was worth it. But when you get to be my age, it's very tough. Who's going to hire me? I can't go out and get a job. But I never had a job. I never had a place that I had to go work from 9 to 5. I was never in that position. I didn't believe in those kind of jobs. I had jobs when I began my career with a Prudential Insurance Company. All right, straight commissions. All right, and that's how I make my money. Because when you work on straight commissions, now the world is open to you, and you can make as much as you want as long as you're willing to work hard and smart. And I did. I made a lot of money. Okay, I made millions, and then I lost millions. So I know what it is to have money and not have it. And I don't wish that upon nobody. Okay? Alright? No, 9 to 5 is not a bad deal. Some people are built for those jobs. We need people for that there. But you know what? Those jobs are going to be gone because robots are going to take the places. You see, folks, you don't realize, all right, that social media is ruining our country, our world, ruining the world, not just our country. And AI is going to destroy it. You see it happening here in Hollywood right now. All right? Yeah. People making movies with AI. It's totally wrong. Who do I blame? I blame the studio executives, okay? Because they become political and become woke. All right? They destroyed this town that I live in. You have any idea how many thousands of people are not working because of the mistakes that they made by getting involved in politics? Okay? And then these actors who become their president, you got George Clooney, you got Robert De Niro on the other side. Okay? Horrible. You know, you got blackballed in Hollywood. If you're a Republican, they be out. Look what happened to Jimmy Woods. They blackballed him. A great actor. Because he just thought differently politically. But then again, we're supposed to live in America, land of the free, home of the brave. The negativity that I see, I can't take. And I'm going to stop a lot of things that I've been doing at my age of 81 years old. Okay? It's time I made some better changes and choices for myself for my remaining years on this earth. Hey, I wish I could live forever like everybody else does, but I know it's not a possibility. Okay? And I try to make the best of every day, and I try to make other people happy every day. Maybe I think I'm reaching out. I think I do touch some people. Okay? Did you read my thing? You tell people want to know who I am, read my bio. You could read my book, The Accidental Gangster, From Insurance Salesman to Hollywood Fixer. You can learn about me there. My book is available everywhere fine books are sold. Okay? And autographed copies are available right now on my website, which is in my profile. All right. My book price will not be going down. Okay. In the next week or two, I'm increasing the price of my book for an autograph book from $29.95 to $49.95. Okay? You buy it, you don't buy it. It's up to you. Okay? I'm not forcing you. I'm not begging you because I don't beg anybody for anything. Okay? Thank you, Brooklyn. Brooklyn Miggs, thank you for that there. Keisha, thank you so much. Tell people to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, folks. It don't cost you a penny. Why are people on social media for? Okay? If you don't like something that somebody's saying, leave. But if you like it, hit that like button. Now, all these people talking about Diddy, I'm not watching none of them no more. Okay? None of them. That includes Tisa Tells. It includes that guy, Murad Merrill, whatever his name from England over there. He doesn't know I got more friends in England than he ever thought of having. Okay? And he can't come out. It's devastating. Everything's devastating there. Okay? Now, why do people got to just downgrade everybody? How do you build a channel by downgrading people? Uplift people. Don't you want to be uplifted? I try to uplift you. I try to give you positive information. I tell you to be happy. If you're not happy, folks, why are you leaving on earth for? Okay? We got to beat all this negative crap that we've been fighting. Thank you, Bella Boo Kitty. Everybody's sick of Diddy, okay? All right? And you know what I heard? I heard this gal that I've been talking about, I'm not going to mention her name again, all right, saying about the people who built their channels off of Diddy. Well, trust me, nobody ever heard of her until Diddy, okay? Nobody ever knew who she was. She built a big channel off of Diddy's back, and she puts them down, down, down. All right? She should be sending money to Diddy. That's what she should be doing. Because without Diddy, she'd have no channel. I could talk to you people about things forever. Now, yesterday, I did an interview. I told you about it. I want to tell you again. All right, my son is going to be posting it on my video section of YouTube here. Folks, it's one of the best interviews I've ever done. And it's something that you gotta definitely see. So please check my videos out. I don't know when my son's, he might post small clips first. Okay, we're trying to uh, trying to do it right, and to make the channel grow and so forth. So, we're trying different things. So be patient, but it's going to be up. Another thing that Louis Ziskin and I discussed yesterday, and he and I are going to get together maybe next week. I'm not sure when, but we're going to do a show where you could ask Louis and I any question that you want. Ask us anything. Ask me about the gangster life. But, I'm going to say ask respectful questions. All right? Okay? And did you see that interview yesterday, Keisha? You were there live for it? I don't know how many people we had there. It said like we had 1,400 views afterward. But what happened was, when at the studio, the studio, we had all the professional cameras around us. But I wanted to bring it live to you folks. And they put my phone the wrong way, okay? And they put it too far away from where Louie and I were sitting. And if you saw the table, it was like a Joe Rogan type of thing, okay? And you saw it, Heather? Thank you. Okay, so you saw if you didn't stick with it, and it was the problem. It was upside down, okay? So, so a lot of people didn't go in there. CJ, thank you so much for that $5. Okay, CJ, hit that thanks button. God bless you, my son. Okay, I'll call you my son. I don't know how old you are. How old are you, CJ? Huh? Folks, if you could afford it, hit that thanks button. All right? I appreciate that. Heather, you said it was fine. You just, when I tried watching it when I got home, I'd go like this. I'd go upside down. And, that turns a lot of people off because when people come on YouTube, okay, and watch a video or something, they got to get engaged right away. And they didn't want to be looking that way, so they left. So the time people didn't, it was very little time that people watched it. They couldn't get past that. So that's why we're using the studio version, which is much better, all right, and will be posted on my video. So please, all right, I don't know if my son posted it yet. I don't know. I had to check, and I can't do that at the same time I'm here. But my son will be posting it, okay, and you know, thank God for my son Anthony, folks, because if not for him, I'd be doing none of this on social media. All right, I wouldn't even know how to turn a phone on. Okay. When I went to prison, we had flip phones, all right? And then when I got out of prison, we had all these phones that we got now. And I said, what the freak am I going to do? How am I going to use it? I learned some things, you know what I mean? But not that much. All right, an algorithm, I still don't know what an algorithm is, okay? Thank you all folks for sending that love to my son, okay? You know, DHS, if I ever worked for Charlie Sheen. Hang on a moment, okay? Will this answer your question? It's from Charlie Sheen. I helped him resolve a problem. I helped a couple girls resolve their problem. And I met Charlie Sheen. He's a really nice guy. I love the guy. Great actor, everything. Okay? Back in those days, everybody in Hollywood and the underworld knew me as Junior. Okay? And Charlie wrote to me, Junior, no hard feelings. I'm sorry, Junior, for the hassle. Charlie Sheen. Okay? So yes, I know Charlie. I like Charlie. He's a great guy. I'm trying to get him, all right, to be on my show. Okay, his agent's been reviewing it. Obviously, I don't have that big of a show here, and I got a lot of Hollywood people, actors and actresses that you all want to see that I could bring here, but I can't bring them someplace where I'm going to have 25, 30 people in a room. Okay, I just can't do that. And I'm not going to use them to build my channel. I don't work that way. All right? So, uh, keep getting these texts. Yes, I met John Gotti a few times too. Okay? John Gotti was a great guy. I loved him. He was very charismatic, very respectful. All right? Spoke very well. Like most of us gangsters. Okay? All right? Thank you, Keisha. See now, Olivie, that's a question that I will never answer. And when I mean ask respectful questions, why would that be of any concern to you? Okay? No, I don't fear death, Chance. No, I fought in another war, Tiger, after that. Thank you, Heather. Yes, you did tell me that, Heather. I appreciate that. All right? Conway Twitty, no. Mm. Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, another best actors around. Okay? We don't have actors like that no more, folks. That's how much Hollywood has changed. I don't think you're ever going to see big actors and big actresses like you saw in the old days. Because Hollywood has taken the creativeness. All right? Joe Colombo. I want to thank you for mentioning Joe Colombo. I want to talk about something. Okay? A lot of people talk about, Diddy has played the black card, all right, so many times I can't even count them, okay? What he did, what he got caught for, okay, was not a black or white issue, okay? He broke the law, no matter how you look at it, all right? That's what he did. It doesn't make a difference he was black or white. But let me ask you a question. I'm sure a lot of you have studied and heard about all the Italians, the mafia, and this and that. And tell me one time that you ever heard one Italian say they're only indicting us, it's racial because they're against the Italians. We never did that. Now, gentleman here mentioned Joe Colombo. Joe Colombo was sick and tired of it, and he started the Anti Defamation League. Okay? But that was because people don't know how bad us Italians had it. Okay? Do you know what happened in 1891 in New Orleans? My friend from New Orleans. Uh, you still here with us? Okay? 1891. 11 Italians were lynched. 11 immigrant Italians that came here the right way to become citizens of this country, but they got hung in jail for something that they didn't do. You want to talk to me about racism? Well, I'll talk to you about it all day long. I've had older black men tell me that the Italians had it much worse than the blacks ever thought. Okay? But nobody wants to talk about that because we don't cry about it and we don't use that card. Okay? We stand on our own 2 feet. That's what we do. We don't call it a racial thing. You're with my son, who? Chris who? I'm with his son, Chris. Pat B, you with Chris? No, I'm not associated with the government. I'm going to be talking to you folks about what happened in New Orleans in 1891. Okay? Chris Colombo, good guy. Yeah. I knew a lot of people in the Jewish mafia. They were good, good people. Okay? So, folks, I wanted to share that with you. Okay? So, let's try to be positive, happy. Okay? Let's try to bring some happiness and change what's going on in this world that everybody's so negative. I'll tell you some people I like to bring in. All right? Comedians make us laugh. You know what movies I've been watching? I've been Naked Gun 2.5. I watched last night. I'll tell you that Leslie Nielsen, O.J. Simpson, Priscilla Presley, and Kennedy. What's his first name? George Kennedy. Oh, I'll tell you a story about him. My first wife loved him. Just really liked him. All right? He's a nice guy. And it seemed like every time my wife and I went on vacation, we go to Vegas, we get off the plane, there's Kennedy. Okay? We go to Hawaii, get on a plane, there's George Kennedy. I think his name's George Kennedy. All right? Maybe I got the wrong first name. I can't remember. Okay? I started thinking, wait a minute, my wife had an affair with this guy? He appeared. And she really liked him. Anyway, so I thought that was funny. Okay? Huh? Thank you, paper, for that there. Okay, so I wanted to bring that out there because somebody mentioned Joe Colombo, and I want to thank you for that there. Okay? Hmm. So, folks, listen, have a wonderful day. Try to make somebody else's life happy today. I guarantee you, the one thing I can guarantee you, if you make others' lives happy, your life will be happy. All my love and respect. Everybody have a great day. Take care.